Hello.
Hello, we are back.
We've got a lot of movies today.
Another week, 4 more in the bag.
Let's jump right into it. They were all new releases. So we'll get back to some 1991 movies next week.
Gotta swap back and forth every once in a while.
We just had a lot that were available on streaming this week, so knocked those out.
That was a good week for new releases.
It was. So the first one we watched was very interesting. It was called Blue Film.
Oh, Blue Film. We had heard some interesting reviews of this, and we're expecting something a little weird, a little twisted, but not sure what we were getting into.
Well, we watched a trailer, and one of the quotes in the trailer was, "This movie would make Gaspar Noé gasp." And I said, oh no, that's really fucked up.
See, I had no context for that. Who is Gaspar?
French director. He makes some really sick movies.
Love it.
I'm not a big fan. I'm not gonna watch Irreversible, but I know about Irreversible. I know.
I do not, and I like to leave it that way.
I didn't care that much for Love, which was his movie where he did unsimulated sex scenes. And I'm pretty sure he did a 3D element in the theatrical release for that. Very strange.
Thinks outside the box.
And he had a weird one in a hotel. Wasn't really my thing. His best movie is Climax, but that could just be because it was a really dancey movie.
Sure.
And I like dancey movies. But yeah, this guy isn't my favorite. One of my favorite movie moments of last year's batch, if you'll recall, was in Sentimental Value. When Stellan Skarsgård's character gives his grandson a stack of very extreme French films, including Irreversible by Gaspar Noé.
Oh no.
And I laughed very hard at that. I was holding my ribs, and it told me everything I needed to know about that man. And it also told me what kind of filmmaker I think he was supposed to be in that movie.
Okay.
So that's kind of my reference on this person is, just uttering his name made me understand exactly what kind of movies Stellan Skarsgård made in Sentimental Value.
So to hear him in line with Blue Film, we were like, okay, this is going to be a little sick, a little twisted, huh?
Oh, I was planning to get triggered heavily during this movie, which is fine. I like to plan.
This movie could be seen as a little triggering, no doubt.
Oh, yes, it was. So prepare yourself for that if you are going to go in and watch this movie.
Consider this your trigger warning.
Now, with that being said, I do think this movie was good. Would I ever watch it again? No.
It was good. It was well made. It's just weird and icky.
Yes, it's icky, but it's icky in a way of a lot of icky things happen in the world.
Sure.
And a lot of people are processing a lot of really complicated feelings about that.
That happens a lot in this movie.
And yeah, because the whole movie is just two characters. There's really no one else in the movie. I mean, both of those actors did a really phenomenal job.
Definitely, we're not afraid to get really involved.
We have Kieran Moore as Aaron Eagle, Camboy, and then Reed Birney as Hank. Reed Birney is a big theater actor.
Okay.
So, hey, props to both of these guys. They put it all out there.
And Aaron Eagle is a cam boy doing some, not extreme, some R-rated things for his cam audience, I suppose. Likes to talk down to him a little bit.
I was editing the last episode of this podcast right after we watched this movie.
Yeah.
And you had said something in the last podcast saying sometimes you struggle with movies because you insert yourself a little too much into the situation and that can make you uncomfortable.
Sure.
And I said, how were you inserting yourself into this movie?
Oh, there was plenty of inserting already happening in this movie, so I had no part in it.
I really hope this movie and the creative process helped the director, writer, or whoever process some feelings,
I hope so.
get some stuff off their chest.
As this starts to get dark, we find out Aaron Eagle has been invited by one of his Cam fans to spend the night with them, and the fan will pay him, I think it was $50,000 to like spend the night with him.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's like if you hear like an influencer or OnlyFans model like meeting with one of their fans.
Oh yeah, it's like when they get invited to Dubai.
Yeah, nothing bad happens there,
No.
sure. And nothing bad happens in this movie. We see the person Aaron's going to be meeting with is wearing a ski mask on their computer and is all alone while wearing the ski mask at first. I was nervous there. I figured, okay, this is going to turn into like a murder mystery or horror film quickly.
Yeah,
not quite.
I thought this would be full-blown horror, maybe a cat and mouse. Aaron's trying to escape the house, or maybe even, a switcheroo situation, like with Don't Breathe,
Sure.
I thought it'd end up somehow like that. No, it did not. It was really these two guys talking out a lot of really deep, dark feelings.
And for basis, Aaron is probably like, I don't know, mid-20s, something like
Yeah.
that. And he goes to this fan's house. I guess he's like renting a house. We can tell it's like a middle-aged man. You can see from under the mask at first.
It doesn't take very long for the mask to finally come off. And this man used to be Aaron's teacher. His English teacher.
When he was a kid, yep. And it just gets weirder from there.
Yeah, he starts to talk about some very nasty feelings and ways he felt about Aaron, and he's now being ostracized from his community. They're both from in Maine. For very good reason, he's being ostracized.
Let's just say this English teacher really liked him young.
He did, yes. And as you get more into the movie, you can tell, even though he's trying to say, no, I'm not trying to be a bad person and all that stuff, he really gets a sick enjoyment out of a power dynamic.
Right.
And it just makes you feel so icky to the core. But that's the point, And the way that, I don't know, I guess everything's shot and edited. The movie really, really builds up tension without a lot of action going on. Because like I said, the movie is essentially just two dudes talking.
Yes, for the most part. They do a little smooching every now and then. But none of them are quite comfortable.
I was like so clenched. And I'm doing it right now. I was just retreating in on myself, like, ugh.
Yes, I was waiting for the other shoe to drop the whole time.
I thought someone was getting killed.
Yeah.
The emotional shoes were dropping, not so much
the emotional shoes.
Like violent killing snap, which I did think was going to happen until the very end of the movie, honestly.
Yeah, same. And we get, I guess, Aaron and Hank just kind of figuring each other out, their motivations, why they're living their lives the way they are currently, how they've kind of ended up there, past traumas and crimes. Because Hank has, I think he said he was kicked out of school for trying to assault a boy.
Well, he's on the sex offender registry now, so it's hard for him to...
Went to jail for a while.
Do anything, really, especially considering he stayed in the town. It seems like a small town in Maine. Everyone knows him. Everyone knows what he did. He even runs into the victim he bags groceries. He runs into the victim at the grocery store all the time.
Yeah, like every once in a while. Bold choice.
Yeah. Shocked the town hasn't angry mobbed him to death.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which would be justified.
Because we get at first the sense or narrative that Hank is definitely regretful for a lot of his past actions or is still trying to figure himself out.
Well, and you have both of these men lying. Because Hank initially lies and says, well, I was going to assault that boy, but then he was crying and I let him go.
Right.
No, he didn't let him go. We find out the kid fought him off and ran away.
Yes. He had like cornered him in the bathroom during like lunch period or something like that.
And then you have Aaron, who that's not his real name. I think his real name was Alex or something like that.
Yes, I think so.
But he is almost trying to relate or maybe give a reason why he is the way he is. And he says, well, I was assaulted by my aunt when I was a kid. Come to find out, no, he wasn't.
He was just making that up to, I don't know, seem more agreeable with the situation.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of an element of, oh, you're this kind of intense sex worker now.
Yes.
Because he's not just doing vanilla sex work. He's getting into some heavy kink, BDSM, fantasy stuff.
Is a male dominatrix still just called a dominatrix?
Yeah, I think so.
Fair enough.
I think a lot in society, there's this idea of if someone enjoys something like that, or they're, doing a certain job, especially as relates to sex work, well, you must have been traumatized as a child or something. And no, he wasn't.
He's like, no, I just find this fun.
We see that more in Hank's story.
Yes.
The cycle of abuse going on there.
Yes, we learn he had some older siblings, Hank did, and he was assaulted by his grandfather, I believe.
Yes.
And he tells it as he had older siblings, and the mom would always keep the older siblings close, but he was kind of left to occupy the attention of this abusive grandfather, and that really did him in. Who knows if that's actually true or not?
I think it was portrayed as true, and he said his mom told him, oh, it's better for him to just get one of you than all of you.
Gross.
And then, Aaron is very understandably, as I would be, well, your mom sucks. She was horrible.
Yeah.
And Hank is very understanding. He says, well, what do you think her childhood was like? She didn't know any different. I still think an adult definitely knows better.
It's like, that doesn't make it any better. It's not justifying anything if that's what you're trying to argue.
No. And then there's a lot of the question of, okay, well, if that hadn't happened to Hank, then would he have gone on to perpetuate that? Or, maybe he still would have. Who knows? Because you've got Aaron doing some pretty intense shit, and we understand he had a very normal, loving childhood, but also,
what he's doing is consensual.
Yes, he is doing consensual acts.
He's just into it. That's fine.
Yeah.
It needs to destigmatize cam sex video workers or just sex workers in general.
I think what made me feel a little gross about what he was doing was, a lot of his character in the sex work videos, he is throwing out slurs every 5 seconds.
He's very much like, has a power dynamic of like shaming or like, I don't know, pseudo shaming his audience, but they are there for that maybe.
Which I'm like, I guess if that's consensual, but then there's also an element of he's done, I guess, non-consensual play with clients. And
yes.
So like, it technically was consensual because it was agreed upon, and that's like their whole thing, but that just makes me feel icky.
Pushing some lines, some boundaries.
Yeah, I don't know how healthy that is to partake in.
I'm
Even
gonna
if
say
you
probably not
are
very.
agreeing to it, I just don't really like that. But what I found to make me retreat into myself and clench up the most were the long conversations we had with Hank and Aaron about how Hank is literally telling him, I was in love with you.
Yes, that's why he's like reconnected with him now.
And then I just wanted to gag.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, the actors were killing it because
Oh, this movie is well put together, no doubt about it.
it's very believable. It feels incredibly real. And that's what made me feel so sick watching it.
Sure, I get that.
But I do also want to say sick in a positive manner because that was the intention. right?
Yes,
How else are
yes.
you supposed to take this movie? It's not like the movie is trying to portray that this was a good thing, you
Yes, it's
know?
going to make you very uncomfortable, and that's the point.
I just hope this creative process was helpful.
Those actors definitely gave their all, for sure.
Oh, yeah, this would be so difficult as an actor. Need a nap after that.
No kidding.
I loved the lighting here, too.
Yeah. Like I said, everything was well shot. For the most part, it takes place in this just house
Yeah.
that they're staying at.
I can appreciate that they move rooms and sometimes they go outside because I always get a little worried when I think a movie is going to be too claustrophobic in one location. That's why I'm always hesitant about space movies.
Yeah.
But I didn't feel like that watching this because they were moving around, not just staying planted in one spot.
Yes, this movie is grounded but not boring.
I agree, and it's not long at all. It's less than an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, it was like 85 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated because you don't want to stick around for too long. You need a bath afterwards.
No, see, if Gaspar Noé were making this movie, first of all, it would have been extremely graphic in like an
Yes.
offensive way, and it would have been like 3 hours long.
Awful.
Yeah.
I would say this movie, it's pushing the boundaries of like being graphic, but it's not gross graphic, I guess. Does that make sense?
For instance, when we get that one sexual scene that, I mean, they're all uncomfy, but that one after he shaved was very
Yeah.
uncomfy. The most egregious parts of that scene, we kind of cut away and you can just infer what has happened. Because I don't need to see that. I get it, you know? I get it.
Yes, it didn't push it too far, thankfully.
Which I thought this movie would based on everything I'd heard about it.
In a weird way, it was tamer than I expected, but still really out there and gross. So, I don't know.
See, I would give Blue Film.
A lot to mull over.
It's hard because I wouldn't watch this again. Because
Right.
I get it. I retained what it was giving me and I got it. I don't need to put myself through that again. But it was very good. So on that basis, I'm going to give Blue Film an 80.
Fair enough. I agree. I was thinking in the range of, let's go 76%. Not a bad shot movie, but you should know some things before just watching it blindly.
Oh yeah, if you just put this on and you think it's gonna be...
I don't know, a good time with the family? No.
No. So this movie has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Dang.
And I'm gonna say that's worth the hype.
Yeah, sure. It's like worth the hype with an asterisk. Get your trigger warnings, have an idea of what you're going to be seeing in this movie, some of the elements.
Yeah, it's definitely not a feel-good movie.
Have a strong beverage with you.
It's in fact a feel-bad movie, but I do think it was tackling a lot of themes that we maybe don't see tackled that much.
Yeah, lots of realistic takes on abuse, and
it was digging into a lot of nuances that I don't think get talked about a ton.
Sure, I get that.
It made you think. And the acting was really great. So
No doubt. I thought the choice of interspersed throughout the story, we see clips of like whole movies of a little boy or little kids running around. And when you understand some of the subject matter, you're like, oh, that's gross and uncomfy. But I think you said that was
that's
the
director's like home movies of him as a child.
I like that little added detail.
Yeah. So I would say give this a watch if those themes sound like something you would want to think about or dig into, and then you never have to rewatch it.
Again, yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Our next movie, much more fun. We watched Forbidden Fruits.
Oh boy, we were excited for this one.
It opens with hot, gothed out Lily Reinhart throwing hot coffee on a pervert's body. And that made me so happy. I was locked in right then and there. There was a pretty cool music cue. I wasn't familiar with the song, but I liked it.
This movie was very Mean Girls-esque in a way.
It was. You know what it really made me think of the most, though, was Heathers.
Ooh, okay.
Which I love Heathers.
I get that.
Like, I love Mean Girls. I love Heathers. I love The Craft. I love witches. I love hot goths. This movie was made for me, is what I'm trying to say.
We get our main character, I believe she was Pumpkin, is that right?
Pumpkin, yes.
And she is working at like essentially like a Cinnabon or something in the mall and notices
No, she is definitely working at Auntie Anne's Pretzels.
True. Oh, that's
Let me
right.
tell you.
And she's like has her eye on like the Mean Girls group led by Lily Reinhart.
Yes. Did you almost say Regina George?
Yes. Mean
I
Girls.
think they invoked the
really did
name
a
of
sin.
Regina George at one point.
I'm pretty sure.
Interestingly enough, I did think Victoria Pedretti was reminding me of eccentric Rachel McAdams here.
She was definitely channeling that.
Yeah.
A little bit of, what's her name? Also in Mean Girls.
Lindsay Lohan?
No, she was in the dancing movie that we watched. Religious dancing movie.
Oh, Amanda Seyfried?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kind of that doughy-eyed.
I think that Cherry, Victoria Pedretti's character, was maybe modeled more after the Gretchen Wieners type.
Sure.
But yeah, she was so good in this movie.
Yes, all the acting was fantastic in this.
Yeah, I had a blast.
It's weird and campy and trying to figure out. At first, I'm trying to figure out, okay, where are we going with this story? You know, what's the end game? And I'd say the last like quarter or a third of the movie is really where it shines.
I like that they were doing these spells and saying they were a coven, but the movie was never confirming if magic was real and if it was working. Because when you're watching The Craft, yeah, the magic is real, it's working.
This is more of just of like a little mall cult.
Yeah, you're like,
which is so fun.
Wait, is that a coincidence? You know, they're doing a spell and then, you know, something will happen to someone, but did that really come from the spell?
Or their actions.
Exactly.
Because we learn it's all these girls working at this Eden clothing store in the mall.
Yes.
And after hours, they do their little witchiness. We see Lily Reinhart is kind of scamming customers sometimes as well, or teaching others how to scam customers. They'll grab like a tablecloth and take it to a customer and saying like, oh, this matches your color. Like use it as a shawl, something like that. And we'll mark it up. I think one they put it on there was like $400.
Yeah, because it does definitely give rich person store.
Absolutely. It's like fake top shelf items, I guess.
Yeah, I did really like that the store was Eden and they were the fruits.
Yes. They all had their matching little friendship keychains with all the little fruits on them. That's cute.
And they're kind of getting over the loss of their old fruit. Who was not a fruit, was named Pickle.
Who names their kid Pickle?
That's got to be a nickname.
Hopefully.
Well, we do realize that Fig was lying about her name.
Yes.
So maybe people just lie to get in there.
What was Lily's name again?
Apple.
We have Apple, Cherry, Pumpkin, and Fig. Who names her kid Pumpkin? What's that nickname?
Well,
Pumpy?
we do learn, spoilers, that Apple and Pumpkin are half siblings, so maybe that dad just really liked naming his kids after fruit.
I would say, to get it out of the way we got to our big kind of reveal and conflict towards the end of the movie, it seemed like we were just kind of bouncing around and some of the elements didn't quite match up to like where we were going.
Was that ending shoehorned in? Yes, it was.
But in a great way.
Did it make a lot of sense? No. But did I care? No, I really didn't care.
Yes. Don't take the plot too seriously because it's supposed to be ridiculous.
Yeah, this isn't a serious film. And I loved it.
And the movie does not make that apparent early on. And I think that's actually a benefit because it keeps surprising you as things unfold.
The only thing you're really getting beforehand is Pumpkin is calling her mom and saying stuff about Lily Reinhart, almost like she's, spying on her. She's trying to get information. And you do think a little like, why is she telling her mom that?
Yes. At first I thought this is Pumpkin's kind of transition from from being just a normal, I guess maybe teenager, early young adult, to really becoming involved in this kind of cult situation to, I don't know, maybe branch out from just really being with her mom or getting to know other people, maybe something like that. Kind of a loneliness factor.
Yeah.
Looking for some acceptance.
But then it does seem like Pumpkin's entire reason for being there wasn't necessarily acceptance. It was...
She's got ulterior motives for sure.
Which, that's fine.
Apple takes a shining to Pumpkin really quickly because I think Apple, she's like the little cult leader. She's always looking for her little project girl.
Well, Apple knows exactly who she is. From the get-go, Apple knows who that is.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot that aspect. So she's kind of playing along as well.
Yes.
I suppose. Or not letting on that she knows who Pumpkin is.
I don't think she thinks that Pumpkin is trying to get her for the crime of, well, she killed their dad.
Yes, Apple puts on this persona of being the stable one, the very sophisticated one, but we see kind of pretty early on, she's like living out of her car in the mall parking lot.
Yes. She's just been traumatized by men a lot in her life, and so now she just wants a sisterhood.
You know what? Good for her. This is a good for her movie.
And you know what? She doesn't want her girlfriends macking on dudes.
That's fair. She is really trying to run their lives. No doubt. But yes, it is definitely very culty. They have their little rituals. They're drinking out of a cowboy boot with some nasty stuff.
They are. They're like wringing their underwear out into it and muddling fruit in there and drinking it.
Germs. We see Apple is like planning Cherry's whole schedule, I think down to the hour. But Cherry's still running around doing her own thing, kind of behind everyone's back.
Well, and Cherry says, Apple helped me get sober, so she knows what's best for me.
Right.
Now, later in the movie, she does say, I didn't even need to get sober. I wasn't an alcoholic. I don't think that's true because Cherry does really exhibit a lot of addictive personalities here.
Yes, a little neurotic.
Because she's not drinking in the movie, until she snaps, but she's still having all this sex in the store with all these different guys, but
the whole food court.
Not in a healthy, empowering way. Seems to be a bit of an obsessive, like, oh, I need more. She's taken one vice and replaced it with another. You know what I mean?
Sure. Pig seems to be the otherwise most level-headed one. Gets along with Pumpkin a lot. And in the end tries to kind of get away from her cult situation just to be with her boyfriend.
And go to grad school.
That works out just fine.
Ah, yes. It works out great for everyone in this movie.
We get a lot of the tensions of Pumpkin's like the new girl. She's popular with Apple. That causes some disruption in the group. Everyone has their own motives, and kind of the overall mystery is kind of unfolding. So our culmination, which I must say was fantastic.
Oh yeah, when we finally got to our gory end, I thought that was done really well.
Most of the movie takes place either in the store or in the mall in general. We see Pickle come back trying to, I think, warn Pumpkin.
Yeah.
A little bit. Pickle ends up eating herself off the second story of the mall.
Which happens right after they do a ritual. And so they get freaked out. Did we cause this?
Oh yeah, they do their little ritual.
Probably not, but
of whoever's causing the trauma in our group needs to be cast out, but they don't really want to say who they suspect it is, because everyone has their own suspicions. Then Pickle eats it.
Mm-hmm.
I loved towards the end, the girls are trapped in the mall due to a storm, and then it just turns up to 11. Cherry gets stuck on the escalator. Girl. Definitely the scene that got me the squeamish was when she's like stuck. Her shoelace, I think, is stuck in the escalator as she's trying to go down.
Heel.
And yes, and her fake nails are too long for her to.
That's the one
that
get her
got shoes
me
untied,
too.
So she like ripped her own nail off trying to untie it. Then she gets her hair stuck, which I figured, girl, at that point, just pull as hard as you can and rip your hair out. Nope, she gets torn up by escalator gears.
I was like, girl, take your wig off. Take it off.
She wasn't wearing a wig. What are you talking about?
I look at the bangs every
Yes,
time.
you taught me that.
And I feel like when you see certain kinds of bangs
Probably
in
a
a
wig.
movie, it's probably a wig. It's like Lily Reinhart was definitely wearing a red wig, and it had the bangs.
Yes.
Because it's trying to cover up the hairline so it doesn't look like a wig hairline.
Right. This movie wasn't afraid to get a little gory. We have this scene. I think it was Sherry as well. She ended up getting a meat cleaver somehow when they're in the store.
Yeah.
Is
Well, Apple brought the meat cleaver, I think, to
yes.
be dramatic, and then it didn't go well.
She actually trips while holding it and gashes Fig's boyfriend in like the jaw. I think he
Sherry
survived.
also had a cat named Shirley Temple.
Yes.
Such a fun looking cat.
We love Shirley Temple.
But yeah, this movie was super stylish,
Definitely.
very fun. I would absolutely rewatch this again.
It's like Mean Girls with witches and cults.
Yeah, and it was funny.
It was, yes.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I'm gonna rate Forbidden Fruits a 95%.
Dang, I'll go 85. Pretty dang good. I remember thinking, kind of in the first half, like where we ended up versus how we got there. I'm like, okay, it seemed kind of, I don't know, wooden isn't the right way, but it seems like we had a bunch of different ideas and they just sort of mashed them together.
This movie isn't about plot, it's about vibes.
Exactly. Yes. Know that going in. Don't care too much about like why is this character here or what's going on and so what's driving certain decisions. Just vibe with it, have a good time, stay till the end, and you'll be engaged. Trust me.
I am style over substance above all else.
Fair. It's campy. It's fun.
And on Rotten Tomatoes, Forbidden Fruits has a 75%, which is much too low. It needs more hype than that.
Oh, absolutely. I think this was maybe my favorite of the week that we watched.
Oh, it was mine, hands down.
I would sum this up to alternate title, Girl Power Slaughterfest.
Love Girl Power Slaughterfest.
My favorite kind of movie. And you know what? This wasn't good for her. This is a multiple good for her movie.
No, this was absolutely a good for her movie.
Also one of my favorite types. But worth the hype, definitely. Check this one out. It's a good time.
Hype.
Watch it with your friends instead of like your parents, I guess. But otherwise, you're good. You're going to have a fun time. Definitely rated R, but how could it not be?
If this tried to be PG-13, I wouldn't like it.
Plus, full of great actors. We love Victoria Brandretti, fantastic in Hill House.
Oh, yeah. I love Lily Reinhart.
The star of Riverdale. KJ Apahu.
I like young Storm from the X-Men. Those last movies weren't her fault.
Not at all, no. All right, number 3.
We watched The Sheep Detectives.
The Sheep Detectives. I was excited for this movie. It looked nice and sweet.
I guess it was.
It was giving me Paddington vibes, though I've actually never seen a Paddington movie all the way through.
I will say, I think this movie got overhyped for me.
Maybe a little bit.
Because I have a feeling people go into a movie called The Sheep Detectives expecting it to be stupid. And then when it wasn't, and it was just kind of nice and
Touching a little
wholesome
bit,
and
yeah.
touching, it made people feel a feel, then I think that makes you say, wow, they made The Sheep Detectives good?
Exactly, yes.
And then, say it's one of the best movies of the year. I do think that's going a little far, though.
It is certainly no Forbidden Fruits.
No, that it is not.
But we get Hugh Jackman living in somewhere in the country in England, and he's just living out of a trailer, I guess English equivalent of a good old boy, raising his sheep, lives in a small town, knows everyone, has his interpersonal rivalries and relationships and everything. But he dies mysteriously. We have our little roster of animated sheep. I don't think we had a single shot of a real sheep anywhere. All CGI.
No. I'm just glad that the sheep didn't look Uncanny Valley.
Not really, no.
It didn't really bother me. You could tell they're CGI, but it was fine.
We had a stacked voice acting cast for the animals.
And
Julia
we had a
Louis-Dreyfus.
live action cast as well.
Patrick Stewart was the old ram. Brett Goldstein was playing 2 sheep.
Bryan Cranston.
Bryan Cranston was fantastic. We had a bunch of different sheep and even the little lambs going along, but you became familiar with who was who pretty quickly.
Yes, they all had distinct personalities, and they all looked a little different too. It wasn't just this whole flock looks exactly the same.
The name of the guy he plays Jeff in Bottoms.
Oh, Nicholas,
Galitzine.
yes.
Galitzine.
He-Man.
He-Man, yes. Nicholas Dmitry Konstantin Galitzine. He's English.
Yeah, I liked him in this movie. I think he's funny. I like him.
Yes, at first he shows up and it seems to be a journalist or photographer coming to cover this little town, and that's kind of our intro point a little bit.
Yes.
Nicholas Braun is
Ew.
the inept only police officer, I guess, in the town. What? He's American, right?
Yeah.
They should have cast an Englishman.
You
I'm
said
loath to say
they
that.
should have cast Nicholas as the cop and Joe Alwyn as the journalist.
Absolutely,
And
that would
I
have been
agree
fantastic.
with you.
We get early on, Hugh Jackman will read to his sheep mystery novels all the time, which I guess is he's kind of a loner, that's fine. But he ends up dead and they think murdered. The whole town kind of gathers to snoop around. The guy that plays Varys from Game of Thrones is the butcher. Didn't have much to do, unfortunately. I wanted more from him.
No, this was kind of giving maybe a Knives Out movie.
Sort of, yeah.
Big stacked cast, and everyone kind of gets their scene or two and gets interspersed in the mystery.
Yes. We just have our troop of sheep going around, interfering in the town, trying to figure out what happened and try to solve the mystery. I thought the scene where they're trying to cross the asphalt road and are freaked out because they've never been outside the field before was funny.
I'm so jaded and I watch so many dark movies. I just kept expecting for a car to just come flying by and hit one of the sheep. Of course, this isn't that kind of movie,
Not at
so
all.
that didn't happen.
Maybe in the sequel. But yeah, we have our cast of sheep. They're going around and kind of trying to assist their human counterparts that are investigating this crime, and a lot of hilarity ensues. We get a sheep running through like a little hotel, causing a big ruckus, which was pretty funny.
I liked the winter lamb. He was cute.
Very, very.
Doing the little paint. And this movie was honestly about death and dealing with death, but it was doing that by taking it from a sheep's perspective.
The sheep have this thing, and I don't know, something like a trait known about sheep, but they have this thing where if anything bad happens, the whole herd goes, okay, we're gonna forget this ever happened in 3, 2, 1. And most all of them except one do actually seem like they just kind of forget bad things that have happened.
So none of them have a concept of death. They just think when you die you turn into a cloud, which
we see at the end, skipping ahead to the end, there's two ridiculous scenes in this. The first one is the old Rams backstory with Hugh Jackman. He's rescued by Hugh Jackman from an animal fighting / circus kind of situation, and you see this stupid scene of Hugh Jackman walking through a carnival full of people with a big old black ram on his shoulders. CGI, of course, so it looks a little extra weird. That made me laugh really hard.
He's carrying it like those posters you'll see in churches that say, "And Jesus carried me."
He really did.
That's what it was giving.
Just such drive, such focus in that gaze. Then at the end, as we're panning away, credits are about to roll, you see a big giant cloud in the shape of a ram in the sky.
And it's a dark cloud.
Oh, yes, like the black ram. It was Black Phillip.
It was Black Phillip, yes.
That was kind of hokey.
It was. I laughed. I'm sure plenty of people found that to be a touching,
Sweet, yes.
maybe even tear-jerking moment.
No doubt.
We laughed.
Yeah, kids would probably enjoy this movie a lot and find it very touching and emotional, and adults, don't get me wrong.
I actually don't think I would have cared for this as a kid.
Really?
I think I like it more as an adult than I would have as a kid. There's no kids in it.
Not really.
It's all about adult interpersonal drama.
I suppose if you like sheep, this is the movie for you. Or maybe not. There's no real sheep in this.
There are no real sheep in this, no.
I did think it was funny. Nicholas Braun's character, the police officer, starts catching on after a little while. He's thinking he's going insane. He's talking to, I think, the journalist character going, whenever something with this case happens, he looks out the window and he goes, these sheep are always right there. And they're just staring at each other. That was pretty funny.
I will say it did not take him long at all to believe it was the sheep that was giving him clues.
Yes.
It would have taken me a year plus to actually start to believe the sheep were giving me clues, even with all of the evidence that he had that the sheep were giving him clues.
I like the scene where our sheep go over to the neighboring field where the shepherd is raising. I think he said it's like a French breed of sheep, like long-haired sheep, something like that.
Yeah.
And when they go over, all the sheep are speaking French. They can't understand one another. That was pretty good.
That was good, yeah.
You have a little bit of a murder mystery vibes, a whodunit towards the end, a little bit.
Which, as always, you cracked the murder mystery within the first 10 minutes.
Because we get early on, I guess Hugh Jackman has these estranged children he's trying to reconnect with. And we hear early on, like, oh, he had a twin son and daughter. Then, as a part of the investigation, the winter baby sheep is like, oh, I saw Hugh Jackman's, like, ghost get up from the ground when he died and, like, walk away. I'm like, oh, it must be his son who looks supposed to, like, look like him.
He doesn't.
He doesn't know.
You
Spoiler
know who would have
alerts.
looked more like him? Joe Alwyn.
Joe Alwyn, yeah. But no, it's Nicholas Jeff from Bottoms, and I guess he had just dyed his hair.
Yeah, they said he did the bottle blonde thing so he wouldn't look like his dad and his sister, and that got the green and the yellow on Hugh Jackman's
Like hand as a clue.
Yeah.
I didn't guess that exact method, but yeah.
You said it was definitely going to be the sun in South Africa.
Yes, our journalist, photographer guy is an imposter. He was the estranged son all along.
And he was trying to frame his sister because she was going to get all of the
And they weren't supposed to know
farm
each
and
other,
stuff.
from what I understood.
No, they were adopted at birth, it seems.
Okay. Because, yeah, they didn't look anything alike.
No, they were supposed to be twins. They did not know.
Movie magic.
Honestly, she looked more like Hugh Jackman than he did.
Really
but
did.
The sheep legitimately say at one point that she looks nothing like Hugh Jackman, but that she smells like him or something.
Yes.
Which I guess is supposed to be like, oh, she's the one who will care for and love the sheep. She is the good twin. And
Right.
He's the evil twin.
So at first they're kind of iffy about the daughter. Like, is she going to be trying to take this field over, or is she going to sell us off, or what's going to happen?
And she does, take the field. She's gonna love the sheep.
Yes.
She even buys the sheep next door so they don't get slaughtered. Maybe they'll learn English and the sheep from Hugh Jackman's field will learn some French.
Maybe they'll learn English.
Bilingual sheep.
Bilingual sheep, love it. But no, this was a fine little movie. Like you said, it maybe got overhyped a little bit, but that's all right.
I thought it was perfectly fine. I'd give the Sheep Detectives a 72.
Not bad. I'll say 83.
The Sheep Detectives has a 95% on
Ooh.
Rotten Tomatoes. That is insane. That is overhyped.
People love those CGI sheep.
This isn't a bad movie, but 95%
It's a
is too
little
much.
high.
That's too much. One final movie.
Last but not least.
We watched Voicemails for Isabelle, the new Netflix rom-com.
We've been burned on some Netflix rom-coms in the past.
Our first new movie of this year was a Netflix rom-com. It was People We Meet on Vacation.
Oh, yeah.
And neither of us liked that movie.
Yeah. I feel like Netflix had just been phoning it in on this kind of genre,
I just think we're not the biggest fans of that genre. I think for people who do like this genre, it works. I did like this movie more than People We Meet on Vacation.
Same. And I think it's because our lead is pretty good in this movie.
She was likable because the lead gal in People We Meet on Vacation, it wasn't the actress's fault, but that was an unlikable character.
Yes. And now we get Zoe Deutsch is... What was her... Well, she's just going to be Zoe. I never remember characters' names.
She definitely had a name. That was Jill.
We get her growing up with her sixth sister, and you thought early on, oh, we're going to have a switcheroo. The sixth sister is going to be the one who lives, and the older, like, really bubbly, outgoing sister is the one who dies young.
That did not happen.
No. Hey, she made it to adulthood. They're fine. Zoe Deutsch loses her sister, moves out to, I think, San Francisco to try to be a baker at a
Which
fancy restaurant.
they keep saying, I'm gonna go to the food capital of the world or the country or whatever. And, maybe that is true about San Francisco and I just don't know, but I would assume the culinary capital of the US would be New York City.
I would say San Francisco is probably up there, but I agree. If you want a truly, I guess, worldly cross-section of a culinary experience, yeah, places like New York might be a better choice.
Yeah, because she's there in San Francisco saying she can't even find a good taco. A taco?
You're like, really? Yeah, she's looking for breakfast tacos.
Go to LA if you want a breakfast taco. Come on,
Yeah,
girl.
yeah, you're in the wrong part of the state. But yeah, Zoe's shown to be a really top-tier chef and cook, but whose talents are underappreciated. Her boss is Nick Offerman, who is hilarious in his little role as the main restaurateur.
He is.
Throwing fits all over the place.
Her work rival is one of our faves.
Lucas
Gage.
with
and
the
he
worst
has
mustache.
An awful mustache.
Looks
here.
like someone smeared mud on his lip. But he owns it. His character is slimy, but he knows it.
It works for his character.
Exactly.
It's very intentional.
He didn't have a terrible time in this movie.
He
was really
still
funny.
had a pretty bad time.
I thought it was so funny after he hooks up with our main gal, and
at the beginning of the movie,
that
and
falls apart
it's
pretty
bad
easily because he's very full of himself, but is actually not quite all that on paper.
He's a hack, and I think we see that the only reason Nick Offerman gives him opportunities, it's probably a sexism thing.
Absolutely.
And yeah, Jill rejects Lucas Gage because when they hooked up, it was bad.
He was bad, yes.
Yes, he was bad. And he takes it so personally. How dare you reject me? And says, I'm gonna ruin your life.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he performs terribly, but then he's like, it's this woman's fault.
Lucas Gage is so fun. I still want him in a lead role. We always see him in these side character roles. He was also in People We Meet on Vacation in a little bit of a side role. When is he gonna be the romantic lead in one of these movies?
I thought he was really good in overcompensating.
Oh yeah, he was. He was in a few episodes.
But you're right. This guy needs leading roles. Let him shine.
Look, I never watched Smile 1. I don't know if he was in that one.
I don't know.
But he had essentially one scene in Smile 2.
It was really good.
And he stole the show. He was phenomenal. He was great in Companion. So yeah.
Definitely got those supporting actor chops, but I think he can
I'm
really
ready to
show
see,
up for more.
Yeah, Lucas Gage in a lead role, comedy, drama. I think he can do it all. Let's see it.
But yeah, back to the main plot. We get, so Jill's sister dies, but Jill has her phone number and old voicemails from her sister that she listens to for comfort, and then will, as sort of a catharsis, leave this now essentially unused phone number voicemails as a way to kind of like still talk to her sister. But the phone number's been reassigned very quickly, just a few months after her sister died, I guess, to what amounts to essentially a stalker, in my opinion.
Yeah, it gets reassigned to Love Simon.
Yes.
I forgot his name in this movie.
It's just Love Simon.
So he's Love Simon, and
like a creep, he doesn't.
He's such a creep.
He was going to text her saying, "Hey, someone is getting these numbers. This number's been reassigned," but he doesn't quite.
He decides he likes to have his own personal window into her life.
He likes listening to these voicemails where she's giving a lot of details, like about their lives and her inner thoughts and dreams and kind of what's going on with her life.
And a lot of detail about her sex life, too.
He's just listening to it all creepily and not ever telling her.
This movie was 100% a case of if that man were not attractive, this would be set up like a horror movie.
Oh, this movie got the messaging all wrong.
All wrong.
But yes, he takes it too far. His friends, I think he's in Austin, Texas, where he's based out of. His friends are Mike Chang from Glee and his wife, or soon-to-be wife, and they're from the get-go like, what are you doing? No, either stop doing this or tell the person, hey, your dead sister's number's been reassigned to me, and like, hey, stop being creepy. But no, he triples down. I'm gonna fly out to San Francisco to find this girl.
Well, and he stalks her bench.
He does. She will tell about like her favorite place to go in San Francisco is like a bench overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. So he is like waiting there for her. I guess maybe like hiding in the
Well,
bushes or something.
No, because what happens is she went on a date, had like a one night stand with this guy who does a podcast, and he ghosts her. And she's mad about it. So she calls her sister's voicemail and says, I'm going to go to his live podcast show.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm going to call him out. So then Love Simon hears that. He says, I'm going to see if I can get this work trip to San Francisco.
He's
so
so
I can be
creepy
there at
about
this
it.
time. And he does. And he goes to the podcast show.
That's
Then
so weird.
once she gets up and does her thing and leaves, he follows her, which if I were sitting at that podcast show and I saw that vulnerable woman run off and then the only man in the room immediately, he's not just walking calmly after her, he's running.
He gets up and like runs after her.
I would be concerned. I would be like,
Absolutely.
ma'am, are you okay? And then she goes to her bench
Mm-hmm.
to decompress, and it's bright out when she goes to the bench. He doesn't reveal himself at the bench until it is dark out, which leads me to believe, because how's he supposed to know the address of the bench? He just knows there's a bench. He followed her there.
Oh, absolutely.
So he followed her there, and he has been just sitting, waiting, working himself up, I guess, to go talk to her, because it had to have been hours. It was light out, and now it's dark.
Because we learned from one of Jill's voicemails, she's like, I wish I would have a relationship work out. I wish Prince Charming would just come sit next to me and start talking to me and sweep me off my feet.
And eat half my sandwich.
Yes. And we would have similar interests and things. And he takes information from that voicemail he's listening to then fudge some of his likes and inspirations so they have a connection.
Well, because she doesn't want anything to do with him at first, because she says, you know what, I'm not dating right now.
Exactly. I've sworn off men for a while.
And then he uses the information he knows about her to say, well, do you know where I can get a good breakfast taco?
Yes, and that perks up her ears, and she thinks it's just like the universe has brought them together.
It reminds me of, and this is a very niche reference, but in the first episode of Degrassi, The Next Generation, our main character, Emma, gets groomed by a grown man. And the way that he gets her trust is he hacks into her emails and reads her emails to her friends. So he knows that she likes environmentalism, and he knows what kind of movies and food she likes.
It's the exact same
and
story
so he's
here.
using that to get to her. And yeah, that's exactly what Love Simon does here.
You're right. If this man had not been like just conventionally attractive, jail immediately.
Absolutely.
She should have maced him.
And, you know, when it does come out and she figures it out, yeah, she is upset. I'm at least glad that the movie had the forethought to at least not have them have sex before that came out, because that would have been a nail in the coffin for me.
Yeah.
It was already bad enough, but that would have been no.
Just that ick factor really just going over the top.
And, you know, they go through the whole normal rom-com thing. They're mad at each other. They're not talking. He's upset. Okay, well, now they need to get back
He has no
together.
right to be upset
what's
about
the
anything.
grand gesture gonna be? What was your favorite part of this movie?
Oh. So we get this mic drop, or this needle drop towards the end, where it's my favorite cheating, backflipping musician, Benson Boone, and that one song.
The beautiful thing.
Yes, we get that as our main characters towards the end are like about to reconnect and respark their relationship.
He's like running in slow motion
We
on
started to
New
have weird-
Year's
yeah,
Eve
we
while
started to
the
have weird-
Please Stay is playing.
So I had to try to pretend to backflip as well, because Benson Boone's backflipping all over the place.
He should have backflipped over to her.
The second half of the movie had weird instances of slow motion that didn't really fit much.
I think the first half did too.
I must have
'cause
overlooked it.
She was crying when her sister died, and while she was walking in there, they started going in slow motion, and I did think that was awkward as well.
I thought it actually fit in comparison to what they did in the rest of the
comparison,
movie. Because
yes.
she's like falling to her feet, learning her sister's passed away, her parents are consoling her. Very tender moment. And then
skip forward, we get him awkwardly staring at some like fireworks, does a complete 180 and starts sprinting down the street. Like, what in the world is happening?
Also, I have to bring up another musical instance that bothered me.
Yes.
Don't get me wrong. I love the song Dancing on My Own by Robin, but that's a sad song.
Yes, it's like we established the sisters. It's like their favorite song.
Yeah, and
together.
they dance together to it, and I don't know, maybe they're getting at, well, the circumstances here are kind of sad. Now at the end of the movie, she is dancing on her own without her sister, but then, I mean, Love Simon comes in and dances with her, and everyone dances with her, so no one's dancing on their own. And I just felt like maybe the theme of the song wasn't fully understood. It's
No.
like that Uber commercial where the couple is falling in love and When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish is playing in the background. And I'm like, that is not what that song is about.
Yes, completely missed the message. You're right. If the main characters and cast hadn't been just like fun, outgoing, and attractive people, this would have been portrayed or seen in a totally different light. It would have been more of a horror movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But yes, Netflix. Was this one of their, I'd say, better or more entertaining rom-coms? Sure, but I think one of the main reasons for me, I was so incredulous to like the messaging and how bad they were getting it wrong and kept pushing it. Like, this movie was not self-aware.
No.
I guess if you like these actors or just want to kind of feel goody love story, that's fine. Like, this isn't a terrible movie.
Don't watch this movie to take away any life lessons.
No.
I think comparatively to a lot of these Netflix rom-coms, I mean, it was better than People We Meet on Vacation.
No doubt.
I thought it was fine. I think the most fun I had with it, though, was just kind of clowning on it with you a little bit.
Absolutely. Yeah, sometimes the benefit of a movie is just having fun. Like you said, making fun of it. And they just gave us so much material. I would have liked more had this movie been more focused on Zoe navigating her work environment, the creeper ex hookup that she has to put up with, Nick Offerman being a complete drama queen the entire time.
I liked that sometimes he would put on a fake French accent.
Yeah, that was really good. He gave it his all. And I think hopefully Nick Offerman is a really nice person because he played a mean chef very well.
He seems nice.
This almost didn't have to be a rom-com. It didn't have to be a love story at all, almost.
Make it like a parody of The Bear.
It could have been, honestly. I like the cooking scenes. The food looked great.
Oh, yeah.
But otherwise, like you said, if you just want a kind of a feel-goody movie and you don't really have to think about it or just, I don't know, put it on while you're working or cleaning or something.
This one's fine.
Yes, it's not the worst rom-com I've ever seen. It's certainly not the best.
I agree. I'm gonna give this one, you know what? I'm feeling generous about this movie right now. I'm gonna give it a 60%.
I was going 68.
Nice.
Worth the hype to you.
Well, let me see what the Rotten Tomatoes score is.
I always get ahead of myself.
You do.
Our scores are right. Whatever they say, they're wrong.
This has an 87%.
Ew.
That is much too high. Not worth the hype for 87%.
I really do think it's the actors are carrying this because the
It
story
is.
does not match up.
No, if we had actors who weren't enjoyable to watch, this movie would be nothing. Like, can you imagine if this had been Sydney Sweeney?
Oh, no. Yes, would have been a lot less enjoyable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would say, like, I did not have a bad time watching this movie.
No.
If you are looking for a movie, you just want to sit down with your, like, partner or something like that, don't have to take it too seriously, enjoy some acting, some funny moments, and you want to clown on a movie, which is perfectly fine. Sure, worth the hype. If you are looking for, like, what's just a good rom-com, you can touch me in the feels a little bit, can laugh, can cry, have a good resolution, like the characters,
Let me tell you, if I were at that park in San Francisco, I would absolutely look over at you and say, hey, look, let's go get some dessert nachos from those nice lesbians.
Right. She had the perfect willing partner in her would-be
Right
girlfriend who worked with her at the restaurant, who left the job to work with her at her dessert nacho
That
food
was
truck.
the love story there. That should have been the love story.
Hey, it might be. We'll see in the sequel. So an interesting week.
Very interesting. I think ranking-wise, Forbidden Fruits, Blue Film, Sheep Detectives voicemails for Isabelle.
See, I'm going to go Forbidden Fruits, yes, because it was fun to clown on it, and I got to backflip off the couch onto our little floor mattress here. I'm going to say voicemails for Isabelle, Sheep Detectives, blue film.
So what you're saying is that Vincent Boone Needle Drop pumped that movie up to second place for you?
Absolutely. Yes, they were trying to throw some like lovey-dovey themes together and try to mash it into a movie, but it did not quite work out.
Well, that was our week.
We did it, y'all.
We'll be back next week with another new release and some more 1991 movies next week.
Getting back to it. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.